Hey, we're recording. So welcome to this call, and I'm doing a call after so long. It feels like a new space. Like I'm like, how long has it been since I haven't done a call? And totally a new space. I am excited. I usually don't say I'm very excited, but today I'm excited, and I do want this call to be a contribution to everyone who's taken out the time to be here. And I'm especially grateful to all these wonderful friends of mine. Some like these Renu's here, Amit is here, Manisha is here, Simi is here, and some of them have done a foundation class with me. Some of them have done a foundation class with other facilitators. Some of them have done classes with more than one facilitator. The foundation class that you're talking about, and this I don't even know where to begin. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Shweta Chadda, and I am a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And Access Foundation class really shares so many tools. That is the beginning of the journey. For me, it was the beginning right after bars that actually gave me so many tools. And we'll be talking about some of them today so that you can begin to use these tools in your life to create the change that you could have, really. So how many of you know that a different life is possible? How many of you know that there is something different available? There's something different about you personally that you really haven't acknowledged as yet. I can say I haven't 100% acknowledged the greatness of me. And even saying the greatness of me sounds so egoistical, superior. And is that one of the reasons why we refuse to see that we can be great too? Each one of us is great in our own respects. Right? So, how do you want to go, guys? Do you want us to start to give you the tools? Do you want to ask questions? And this is a space where all of you who have come in together for this call, I'm deeply honored and very happy, really. So would you like to go with any questions, or do we start to give you the tools? I do want to clear the places today where we refuse to acknowledge that we're great, where we refuse to see that if I'm not choosing the greatness of me, then somewhere I'm depriving the world of a beauty that could be in it if I was truly willing to acknowledge that, hey, yes, this is cool about me. This is great about me. So let's just begin this call with everywhere you're refusing to acknowledge that you're great, that you're cool just as you are without you having to change anything at all in this moment. What are the things that you think are wrong about you? Like, tuck, 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 tuck. It would probably just be going on in your head, yeah, not this, I'm not that, I'm not smart enough, I can't talk very well, I can't dress very well, I don't have a capacity with money, oh, my body is so wrong, oh, I don't look as nice as I think I should, oh my god, I look 20 years older on screen, whatever it is. You destroy and unfair it all. That's not greatness of you, that's judgment. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. And that is the Access Consciousness clearing statement, guys. I hope all of you have done bars. And if you don't know the clearing statement, just ask. Maybe I could give you a little brief, or you could go to the website, theclearingstatement.com, and find out more about that. Puneet has a question. Hey, go for it, Puneet.
Hello.
Hi, long time no see. How are you?
Yeah. Shweta,
Yeah.
when we talk about being great,
Mm-hmm.
my question is that if I see my greatness, then everyone is great.
Mm-hmm.
But great is like, great is like, if everyone is great, then what is great? So, what is truly being great?
What is it for you?
Because whenever I ask this, okay, what is being great? If I see, like, the gifts, talents, abilities I have, I see that in everyone.
Right.
Isn't greatness a differentiation, like only a few have it and others don't?
No, I would differ there. So what's your question? Let's get to the question. What is your question?
What is truly being great?
Okay, so how many definitions do you guys have about what being great is that does not allow you to acknowledge that you're great? Like if you're cool with something, if you can do something well, and if you're enjoying it, are you great at it? Or does it have to make you money? Do people have to acknowledge you for it? Does it have to be a particular definition of what great is? Or could it be something that you just have fun with and you enjoy, and it just adds in a way to your life that nothing else does? Or it expands your life. So what have you defined as great? What is your definition of great, guys, that does not allow you to acknowledge that you're great? And everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so the dictionary defines great as of an extent, amount, or intensity considerably above average, of ability, quality, or eminence considerably above average. Okay, so a lot of what great in this reality is about comparison definition. Is that correct? Is that correct? So for that, you have to have a reference point of what great is as compared to someone, rather than acknowledge something that you have fun with, that you enjoy. Let's just look at these things that expands your life. And could that be great for you? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But then everywhere that you have a reference point, or you're comparing it with if you are comparing it with something that you consider great, which obviously is not you, it has to be someone else. Now, great could be, okay, again, you have these different compartments of great body, great looks, great image, great money, greatness with so many different things. But you'll always find someone who's better than you, so that you can now put you down and judge you, so that you can never be the greatness of you, the way you know it, the way it works for you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what have you defined greatness as that it isn't? And how many reference points do you have to what greatness is that does not allow you to acknowledge that you're just great with so many things? And everything that does not allow you to acknowledge that, everywhere you want to hold on to the reference points, will you destroy and uncreate all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, here's the thing, that with a lot of access is what talking about these days is that we have changed tracks, right? So there was this global foundation that happened in March, I think, which was like amazing. Like there was like people from all over the world, right? It happened in Brazil, that there were people from all over the world, even from India. There were a lot of people who chose it. It was amazing. And right after that, we had all of this Corona stuff show up, right? With the lockdown, with everything changing. And I don't have to tell you how much things have changed, how much you're aware of the weirdness and the wonkiness in people's realities, in everything that's going on around you right now, particularly when people are going, oh, I can't go out. Like for me, it's this insanity of just staying stuck at home, right? And how much of that is awareness? That could be your greatness because you're aware. But if you go into the judgment of, oh, I am part of this, not realizing that that past reality is already over, and now this is your awareness to how you can create a different future. If you did not acknowledge that you're great, if you did not acknowledge that you're aware, now awareness could also be greatness, but do you acknowledge awareness as greatness? Do you acknowledge things that have not been validated by other people for you as greatness of you? I don't know if I'm making sense to you guys. Does that make sense? So everywhere that you're looking for someone else's validation and acknowledgement, rather than step into the greatness that is you, will you please destroy and uncreate all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, online shows, boys and beyonds. And that is the beauty that the tools of access give you. When you begin to use the tools of access, when you begin to use the tools, if you've done a foundation class or you've taken any other access class, even if you've done the bars, if you just keep running the bars, if you keep using the tools of foundation, which actually give you access to every area of your life, it is like the foundation of your life, with the finances, with the relationships, with your body, with sex and no sex, with everything. It practically covers everything and encompasses everything. And today we'll talk about some of those tools more so. But this is where I wanted to start off this call with is, are you truly willing to acknowledge that you're great? And unless you begin to acknowledge that you're great without having to compare it with anyone else, without having to have a reference point of, oh, if my money situation is not this, then I'm not successful, which obviously means you're not great. If I haven't been able to change my body, or if I haven't been able to change my relationship, or if I don't have a great sex life, whatever it is that you think you suck at, whatever it is that you think is the wrongest thing about you. Have you heard Access says, whatever you think is wrong about you is what is strong about you, is what is great about you, right? But if you continue to look at it as a wrongness, if you continue to judge yourself for it, or you keep blaming other people for it, if you continue to buy into the story that this is somehow wrong, or you are somehow wrong, then will you be able to change anything in your life? So what if true greatness was the ability to create your reality the way you wanted it to, the way you wanted it to look like? And with you changing everything in your life, what if that was a gift for the world to change and show up the way it could if you were willing to acknowledge the greatness and gift of you? And everywhere that twisted your head, or everywhere you refused to hear it, or everywhere that didn't make sense to you, but you still want to laugh, or you still want to go dance, or whatever it is that suddenly turned light, will you please acknowledge it? If anything in your world turned light just now, right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, online shows, boys and girls, would you just acknowledge, oh yes, let me just explore this area. Let me just be the Harry Potter who's just gotten into Hogwarts and is exploring the new magic, and is like, okay, cool, what is that? And what is that? Okay, she's talking about the greatness of me. Oh, cool, what is that? Have I ever explored it? Have I ever had it? Have I ever had a miracle show up in my life? Did I ask for something and it showed up? Oh yeah, okay, cool. Then maybe I'm great. Maybe I'm not willing to look at it. But what if I am truly great? Does that excite you? Does that enthuse you? Does that turn your body light? And if it does, well, let's just go on, right? So let's begin with one of these cool peoples here. Simi, would you like to go first and tell us what your favorite tool is? So then, and tell us how you use it, how you have been using it, whatever it is that you want to share about Access, foundation tools, whatever. Tell us your favorite tool.
Okay, my favorite tool is Interesting Point of View.
Would you like to tell us, give us a little introduction as to who you are and what you do, quickly?
I am Simi Bhasin. I am BAS facilitator. I live in Noida.
Okay.
And basically, I'm a journalist, but right now I'm not working anything.
Okay.
And so I have been CF also, and not repeated not.
Yes, so Simi has been a CF also, and she is a BAS facilitator, and she has all of these tools at hand. So, okay, now so tell us which one is your favorite tool, please.
My favorite tool is Interesting Point of View and 10 Seconds Choice.
Amazing.
I was in CF class in Florence in 2016, and I was very upset for something. Me and my brother, we were fighting or something. Then I was sitting with Sangeeta and we were discussing something, and Sangeeta told me, say, interesting point of view, I have this point of view about him, and interesting point of view, he has this point of view about me. And I repeated 5 times that and 5 times that. And energy started little like changing. I find little like we were not in talking terms and kind of, and we started talking little bit.
Amazing.
But as I progressed, and it was like quite the things actually getting better and better.
Amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah.
Go for it. Please go on.
You tell me.
No, go on.
Yeah. So when I came back, I was. I always had complained with my mother that she loves my brother more than me. Mm-hmm. So I was very like the things was coming out so much after CF class. You know, Shweta, like so many things come up. So the things was coming up, and I was very upset. I was sitting, and then I told Seema Madan. I was talking to her, and I said, I don't know. There is so much kachra is coming in my life.
Yeah.
She told me that you are aware of everything, but you are not. Be interesting point of view. Start being in allowance of you and of everything. So I said, no, I'm not able. I started doing that, but I was not. Then I started doing that, being that actually. 10 like, okay, this 10 seconds, okay. For 10, if my life is up for 10, after 10 seconds, what would I choose?
Wow.
So I started doing that, and I started shifting into present.
Amazing.
And like it was after that, it was kind of amazing. Generosity of spirit and all those things were there for me.
So cool, so cool. And that is so beautiful what you shared. When you can combine. So there are these two tools, guys. If you have any questions, please do ask us. There's this beautiful tool in Access, which is called the Interesting Point of View, which is about being in allowance. And it actually starts to shift the judgment around anything that you have a point of view about. And you all know that your point of view will create your reality. So like what Simi is sharing, if you have any relationship upset, if you have anything that seems stuck in your life, that you got to start to look at what is my point of view around it. And go, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. And what I liked with what you shared, Simi, beautiful, this is something so, I mean, you explained it so well, is that sometimes we're not willing to be in allowance. Like recently I had an argument with my husband. Like, yeah, all of you who have husbands and wives would know that you do end up arguing with the people in your life, particularly if you're stuck with them for so long. And here we are both raging at each other. And I'm like, so mad. I'm so mad. Like my daughter's like, Mama, barriers down and interesting point of view. And I was like, no, I don't want to do interesting point of view. I just want to hold on to this point of view. And I want to be mad at him. You know, so there's so many times that you don't want to let go of your point of view because you think you're right and it is serving some purpose. Maybe getting mad served some purpose for me. It was probably proving that I'm right. But when you add that 10-second tool to it, okay, this 10 seconds, I will choose to be mad at him. And I'm going to be in allowance of it. I'm not going to judge myself because I am not doing interesting point of view. And a lot of times when people start using the tools, they go into the rightness of even using the tools or not. You know, oh, I didn't do interesting point of view, so I'm so wrong. And that's again eliminating the greatness of you. So allowance or interesting point of view here, and adding 10 seconds to that would be, okay, this 10 seconds, what am I choosing? I'm choosing to be mad at him. Next 10 seconds. And so many times, you know, when you're in allowance of even if you're doing something that does not seem to be the appropriate thing to do, if you can be an allowance of that too,
Yeah,
it shifts. It's the resistance that we try to push and we try to wrong ourselves. So we try, now here I'm wronging him, getting mad at him, and then I'm going to go into the wrongness of me because I couldn't let it go, or I couldn't be interesting point of view. I'm supposed to be a facilitator. Doesn't mean anything. So even if you're going into the wrongness of something, what if you did interesting point of view with that? Even if you're going into the rightness of something, what if you chose to be interesting point of view with that? And if you're not willing to be interesting point of view, or you're not able to do it, okay, interesting point of view, I don't choose to be interesting point of view right now. Right? That is the gift that 10-second choice is, where you go, okay, this 10 seconds, I choose to hate this person. This 10 seconds, I choose to love this person. This 10 seconds, I'm divorcing him. This 10 seconds, I choose to be married to him. Now, how much freedom does that give you? Because now you don't have to go into the wrongness of you or the other person. You can choose to hate or love as per your wish or choice in 10 seconds. So thank you, Simi. That was so beautiful. Cool. So do you guys have any other questions with interesting point of view, with anything that stuck for you? Anyone have any other question? Or we can have Manisha talk about her favorite tools. So hi, Manisha.
Hi.
Hi.
So coming to me, I'm graduated in psychology and I'm doing a hell lot of healing modalities.
Awesome.
And Access is again my favorite thing. Not making it significant these days, but yes.
This 10 seconds is your favorite thing.
Yeah. I learned that because for a longer time I've started making it so significant.
Right.
So coming to my favorite tools, there are a lot. So it was very different idea to choose one. After foundation, I found biomimetic mimicry as my favorite.
Wow.
It was always for like 23 years. अच्छा मैं पापा जैसी दिखती हूँ. My body is like my bua. Oh, I'll get diabetes because I'm gaining weight like her. I am having PCOD like her. And then, okay, biomimetic mimicry. And that not only in the body process, I use it like hell, like loop or the clearing, eradication and elimination. And I started losing the weight, which I couldn't do for 5 years of diets, gym and everything.
That is so cool. And you can make so much money like, with those people who try to sell those dieting programs to
the
right idea of how much you should weigh.
Actually, my dietitian used my photo, claiming that he did it for me, and I was like, I never followed your diet. Sorry, boss, no.
Oh.
I was like, sorry, boss, no.
Right. So that is cool. That is so cool. So
Yeah.
you guys know what the biomimetic mimicry is? It's a. You want to tell them what it is, Manisha?
Yeah, biometric mimicry, in my words, is like it's a time when we are projected or we buy that we are similar to the person or we would like to be like them, and we start mimicking their lifestyles, their patterns, unwillingly and unawarely, and sometimes it's a very conscious choice also.
Yeah.
And like it's like a window shopping and then also buying the all the kachra, like you
Absolutely.
like something in that too. So it's like a freedom to you that you be you.
Yeah.
You are different, you're unique, you don't have to be someone else. It's like a Bonvita's ad. I don't want to be another Sachin Tendulkar. I would like to be Manisha Marwaha.
I know.
That to
That is
me,
so
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. I was explaining to a friend like that.
It's a
तूने
brilliant.
वार देखी? It's that way. Yeah.
It
For
is
me, it's that.
so brilliant. It
It's
is so
amazing.
brilliant. I love it. I love it. And I love the way how each one of us can use each tool so differently. Like if I explain it, I would explain it differently. How you're explaining it, you're explaining it so differently. And every time, and that's the beauty of these tools, which is that you take your takeaway from it. What is your takeaway from it? Because so many of us use the tools differently. We use and receive from the tools differently. And also, every time you use the tool, you receive something more and something different from it. That's what I've seen. So, guys, biomimetic mimicry is one of the tools of access consciousness, which is a body process too. So, it is taught in the foundation class. It is one of the processes that is taught in the foundation class. It is also a body process that you can learn from any of the body process access consciousness facilitators. And it is also something that you can actually use verbally, like when we clear stuff, like what Manisha was saying. So many times when people tell us, you look like your dad or you look like your mom, तुम तो बिल्कुल तुम्हारी तो शक्ल बिल्कुल तुम्हारी मम्मी पे गई है ना, या तुमको लगने लगे कि ओ माय गॉड अब तो मैं 45 की हो गई हूँ, तो यू नो so and so in my family that I look like started to put on weight or started to go bald at this age. So my god, I'm going to start doing that too. Now how many of you are doing that? You know, or I have a tendency to put on weight because my great grandmother did it, right? But we will not look at the capacities that your ancestors had that you could now have as greatness. But we will look at all the things that are negative about somebody, per se, this reality, because there is nothing as negative or positive, but probably even the stuff like Manisha said that is not contributive to you. So when you start mimicking, when you start buying into the point of view that you're like someone or you're genetically like someone or because it was in your family or any other reason, or even when you begin to look at someone's world, like someone you admire and you look at, oh my god, I want to be like that person, you know, you say that, and everything that is in that person's life, you begin to, that's how great you are, but you wouldn't acknowledge that. You start mimicking their lives, right? And a great way to undo that is to actually go, okay, all the biomimetic mimicry here that I've taken on, you don't even have to know the name of the person that you're taking it from. You don't have to figure out the right stuff, whether I chose to become bald or whether I chose to put on weight or whether I chose to whatever. Or probably, you know, this person in my life lost all the money they had, so I'm going to do it too at this age. How many people? Oh, this is another beautiful thing that Access has been talking about, because it just popped up in my head. So I was wondering if you've heard about it. Is this thing called astrotypical personality? Have you heard about it? It's something that you were told you were going to be, okay, by the astrologers that you went to, or the palmists. Like, how many of you believed in palmists? Like, I went to a palmist for fun. But could you guys just please mute yourselves? And if you want to talk, then you can unmute yourself. That'll just help with the recording. It's just a request, please. Thank you. So there is this thing called astrotypical personality, which goes with this concept of biomimetic mimicry, where we kind of tend to buy into what we were told we were going to be in the future by an astrologer, or somebody saw our charts, or by Linda Goodman. I love to read Linda Goodman's in That used to be a great pastime in high school because the lectures would be boring. So we would sit behind and just go with, oh my God, who do I combine with? Who's going to be my life partner? I'm an Aquarian, so I'm going to go well with Gemini or a Libra, and, and then look at all the boys who were like Geminis and Libras. How many of you did that? And okay, because I am this particular thing, and look at that the newspapers that have those, the typical sun signs or the palmists or whatever, numerology. And I don't mean that's wrong. I don't mean if you're doing it, you shouldn't do it. Please go ahead and do it if it's a contribution in your life. But if you go into the point of view that that is what your life is going to be because someone told you that or it was predicted, then do you give yourself the choice to be aware? Like today, whatever you choose, tomorrow you're going to experience more, your awareness is going to expand. Whatever it is you choose, every choice will create awareness. But if you have a predicted lifestyle based on some astrotypical personality or biomimetic mimicry, like someone told you, you are like that person or you like that person, then can you have the future that is way beyond anything even you comprehended? Right? So everywhere that you bought into the biome, let's just clear it. Are you willing to clear it without even going into what it means? All the biomimetic and biomimetric mimicry. Now, biomimetic is what you take on in your body. Biomimetric could be energetic. So without going into the comprehension of it, all the biomimetic mimicry, all the biomimetric mimicry that you've taken on, or all the astrotypical personalities that you've bought into that do not allow you to embody the greatness of you, embody the greatness of the future you could have if you didn't buy into that, will you please destroy and create? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poc, online shows, boys and beyonds. Okay, so please don't buy into what people tell you. Like literally, what I'm going through right now, I'm not going to go into too much depth of it. Is so much of this crap. What Manisha was talking about, of what you buy into, what your children should do after the 10th standard. What are the right subjects to take? What are the right careers to take? And if you want to do that career, then how do you have to go about it? How much attendance you have to have? And there's so much insanity around how schools are functioning with the Zoom calls. Children have to be on the Zoom calls these days. It's driving them nuts. Like literally, my daughter had a headache non-stop for 4 days because she had to attend these lectures online and she had to do it in the stipulated time. But what kind of crap is that? Because the schools and the already set patterns of coaching classes are going to lose money if they tell people that the education system has already changed. Nobody's willing to see it because everybody's scared of what their child might miss out on if they don't attend these 2 months of school or coaching. You see, that's just one example. How much of your monetary reality are you buying into right now? How much of your body's reality or awareness are you buying into as real and true because of the predicted futures that are all reality? Now everything's changed. Does that make sense? So how many of you are still buying into either that biomimetic mimicry or the astrotypical personality or the predicted, whatever it is that is creating the predicted future, which doesn't exist anymore, guys? And what Dane was talking about in one of the, I think he just made a video on one of the one new class that he's doing about future, where he's talking about what if you being aware of what you're aware of as the future today, without going into this point of view that everything is doomed and things are going down the road and it's a depression. If you didn't buy into that, and if you didn't buy into the insanity that this reality is going through right now, because you're aware, you're an infinite being, then what can you start creating today rather than wait? Are you waiting or are you creating? So if you have the point of view that tomorrow it's going to change and I'm going to start then looking at the pattern, looking at now what is predictable, or if you continue with the old track of what was valid in that reality or not, how you were functioning earlier, what was predicted about you, you started to create with your awareness, knowing that you are aware, knowing that you're great as you are, what would you create? Does that make sense? So everything that does not allow you into tapping into that awareness that is you, that is the greatness of you, that is the you being the infinite being you are, that would allow you to create a way different future than if you continued into old reality with all the biomimetic mimicry or the astrotypical personality. Will you please allow yourself to receive that awareness, not with the wrongness of you, but with the greatness of you, with acknowledging that you have an awareness around it. And now with that started to function from question of, okay, cool, now what else is possible? What else am I aware of? What else can I create? What else can I generate that was not possible before? and everything that does not allow you to choose that and be that without buying into anyone else's point of view, will you destroy and uncreate all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, all 9 shows, boys and beyonds. Because guys, if you keep waiting for someone to come and validate you, it's not going to happen. They can't see what you see. They can't see with the awareness that you see. Okay? So if you are living with people who don't want change, or if you're just aware of people who are still choosing old reality, choosing to function the way, and they're asking you, what's the point anyway? Why are you doing this? And they're judging you. The thing to do is interesting point of view. The first tool that Simi shared, interesting point of view, I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I have this point of view, that they have this point of view. Interesting point of view, I'm buying into this point of view. And now if I didn't buy into this point of view, this 10 seconds, what am I choosing? And then keep destroying and uncreating the biomimetic mimicry around it, the astrotypical personalities that you create around it, right? And this is not even the beginning of what is offered in a foundation class, by the way. It's a whole 4 days of what I'm just giving you in these 10, 12 minutes. So I hope this actually contributes to you starting to see the greatness that you are. And we have another 2 people who would like to tell us their favorite tools. So Renu, would you like to tell us your favorite tool from the foundation, and how many classes have you done? And would you please give us a little introduction about yourself?
I'm Renu Soni, and I'm a bars facilitator, and I think I've done the foundation 7 times.
Whoa.
I've done it twice with you, and the last one was the most awesome one because it was Hindi, and it was really awesome. I run an activity center for children in Nagpur, and I've been into Access for the last 8 years now, I think. And I think my life changed when I started asking questions. So I've done quite a few modalities, and there was this thing in the law of attraction also, ask and you shall receive. So my journey with Access has been so awesome that earlier I would ask a question and I would lament and scream and shout if it didn't come through the way I wanted it to come through. So when I came into Access, I started asking a question with an actual question mark after it, you know, and that's when, and then trusting, I've learned to trust my self, and I've learned to have my back so strongly that this question works the wonders for me, you know. And I like combining my question with the interesting point of view, of course, like Simi said, because when I'm in question, and that's when you know, if a doubt comes up, or maybe, you know, a fear comes up, or one of the distractor implants come up, then I ask, okay, then I say, okay, interesting point of view that I have this point of view. And you know, I'm in there's a group that someone is doing on Facebook. It's about interesting point of view, and I see people actually, you know, writing it down 100 times.
Yeah,
Like
Radhana Tiwari is doing it. It's wonderful, guys. You should join. It's a
yeah,
free group. It's wonderful. She puts up a question every day, and a lot of people are sharing wonderful stuff about interesting point of view.
yeah. And I remember when I was doing Louis Hay, I would sit down and write those affirmations so many times, and I'm so grateful I am where I am today. I don't really need to write them down, because when I ask a question, my entire body becomes aware. And like Shweta said, of course, there are times that I say, okay, I don't want to ask a question because I want to stay with this shit. But yes, the best thing that's really worked for me is asking a question. And the foundation, the first foundation I did was with RD. It just blew me. It just blew all the cobwebs, everything that was not working for me in my head. And every time I do this class, it's like there's, so you can read the journal, the manual, I don't know how many times, but every time I read it, there's some gem in it which I sort of probably I'm ready to receive right now.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing.
So tell us, when you used a question, what question did you use, and any one instance which was really dynamically shifting for you? And also, you use these tools with the children in your center, right? Those little toddlers, the 1.5 and 3-year-olds.
Yeah. My favorite with them is how does it get any better than this? Because
Yeah.
when I have children who come in when they're just 1.5, and they learn very early how to get their way and how to throw tantrums, and so I just hold the child in my arms and I say, okay, this is not working for me. This tantrum of yours is not working for me. So can you tell me how can I make it better? And then
Wow.
I keep saying, okay, how does it get any better than this? And it's amazing how it gets better,
Wow.
because you just have to, focus on the child and his awareness at that moment, and the child will guide you. So
Wow.
it's really, and another thing that really works with the children is MTBSS. That's also a body process we do in the foundation. And they have this colic pain, or they have some unease in the body, and a child 1.5-year-old will sit in my lap when I do MTBSS for him or her, because they can sense the relief, you know so I'll just put my hand on the body and keep talking to the child and keep murmuring and cuddling, and the child will sit still for, say, a 1.5-year-old child sitting still for 15-20 minutes just to get that process done. Is it just shows how beautifully it works, because children are so aware and they pick up energies much faster than we do.
Amazing. That is so amazing. And would you like to sing us that interesting one if you told the way you do with children?
Oh yes, I sing both. In fact, I taught this in Hindi to one group of children I was working with. It's ये इससे और बेहतर कैसे हो
Wow.
सकता है, ये इससे और बेहतर कैसे हो सकता है. And the interesting point of view, yeah, I love singing that. Interesting point of view, that I have this point of view. Interesting point of view, that I have this point of view.
Oh my God, I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
Yeah,
sharing that.
life has been so good ever since Access came into my life. It's
Yeah.
changed so many
And you're one of the people who I've seen, are just so much at ease with the tools that it's like a normal conversation with you. It's not something that is outside of your life. Like a lot of times we make access something separate from our lives. It's not. It is a way of living your life. It is a way of incorporating the tools into your life so that you can begin to live them and see the change that they create. And if you don't bring time into the equation, like really, I did it today and it should change tomorrow and it should get better. If I did it, you have a point of view, it's not going to work. So one thing that I've seen with you is that you're so willing to receive, even when you and I are having a conversation. You've never made yourself superior to another, and that is also allowance of when someone is not willing to receive a tool, please don't give it to them. Yet
things.
allowing it to infuse in your world in a way that it will create a change, whether or not someone else is willing to have it. So that is something that I've seen you be so great with it, even with the children
Oh,
who
that's
walk into your center,
beautiful.
whose
Thank
parents
you.
know nothing of access, right? The parents
Mhm.
know nothing of access. And I remember Renu sharing with me one day when, like, a lot of people force children, like when in centers also, they'll be like, oh, it's eating time, it's drinking time. And when you were sharing about, letting the children choose if their body wanted water, and
Yeah.
teaching them at such a young age that they have a choice. Now, the one more beautiful thing about access is that it tells you that you always have a choice. You
Choice.
always have a choice. You don't have to listen to people tell you what you should do with your life. Now, how many of you have been listening to other people tell you what you should be doing with your life, or what you should have done with your life, or what you didn't do right and what you did wrong, which is actually other people taking away your greatness from you because you're letting them, because you're believing the lies, because you think what they're telling you is more valuable than your awareness and your trust of you. And everything that is, guys, will you please destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes,
With that
please.
Podpok online shows, Boys and Beyond. So what if you began to see, now when you begin to acknowledge, like, what if this is home play for you? Like, I am enjoying this call so much. I hope we can go on with more people sharing their favorite tools with the foundation and access, where you actually got to start playing with, hey, what is great about me that I haven't acknowledged? Really. And then
Yeah.
go, okay, everything, even if nothing shows up in your head, even if nothing right away shows up in front of you, if you keep asking that every day, every time you go into judgment of yourself, stop and ask, okay, what is great about me here in this situation that I'm not acknowledging? Because so many times, so many things that are stuck, so many things that you think are not working very well for you. Like I said, okay, if your finances are not showing up the way you think they should, if your body is not showing up, or your relationship, or anything in your life, or you're asking for something desperately and it hasn't shown up, then you can ask, okay, what is great about me here that I haven't acknowledged, that if I acknowledged it would allow the situation to change right away, as if by magic. It is magic. You acknowledging the greatness of you will create the miracles that you've been asking for. Trust me. So if you want to do home play, if you really want to shift stuff in your life, you can start with that.
Yes.
Right, and asking questions, like Renu said, beginning with how does it get any better than this, which is one of the questions that's given out in an Access Bars class. That is your first step into Access Consciousness. Is so beautiful that with everything going great in your life, you can ask, how does it get any better than this? And everything that's not going as great, you can also ask, how does it get any better than this? ये इससे और बेहतर कैसे हो सकता है? इससे और बेहतर कैसे हो सकता है? इससे और बेहतर कैसे हो सकता है? Frustrated हो तो ये इससे और बेहतर साला कैसे हो सकता है? Okay? You can do it whichever way you want, or sing it, or dance with it, or say it in your head, or say it out loud, or scream with it. But here's the thing, guys. When you ask a question, the universe responds. So that is why what Renu was saying, a question is way more powerful than an affirmation. Okay, so we're not.
And you know, the another question that I love asking is, what's right about this I'm not getting?
Oh yeah.
That's also because there's so much in my own head that I require to fix or sort, you know. And the moment I just say, okay, what's right about this I'm not getting, I'm also acknowledging that what is happening is happening, or what is, you know.
Yeah.
I have to first accept that and then move on.
Brilliant. And that's another great question. Thank you for sharing. So that's another question you can ask, guys. What is right about this that I'm not getting? Because mostly we have a tendency to go, hey, what's wrong with me that I can't get this right? What's wrong with this person that this person keeps behaving like this? What's wrong with my body? What's wrong with me that I can't get this right? You know, and that is like big abuse. It is you judging yourself, which is the greatest form of abuse that you can ever do to yourself. So when you ask, okay, what is right about this I'm not getting? Whatever situation you're in, and what is right about me I'm not getting? You will start to get to see things that are right about you that you're not getting. Somebody might come and tell you, or you might have an awareness, or you might start to see things that you've done. Like, okay, so just now, if you just look back in everything that you've created in the last 6 months, just look at it, that you never thought was going to change. Like the asks that you made 6 months ago, how many of them have actually come true that you haven't acknowledged, that you haven't been grateful for, that you haven't acknowledged the greatness that you be because you created that in your life? And did you ask for something and it showed up? Were you asking to resolve something that showed up? But you have a tendency to go into the wrongness of that because you will totally ignore what you created. And that is entrainment of this reality. Or this reality will always tell you, hey, don't ever go into the greatness of you because that's ego, that's superiority, that is not good. You know, the devil is going to get you if you go into being superior. Whatever that is, everywhere that you bought into the point of view that it's devilish, it's satanic, it's evil, it's bad, it's mean, it's vicious, if you acknowledge the greatness of you, any lifetime, it could be from anywhere, any time, space, dimension, reality, will you please revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, renounce, destroy, and create everything you did, everything you chose, everything that was implanted and explanted in you that never allowed you to see or acknowledge the greatness of you, that if you did, would actualize your life as the magic, miracles, and possibilities you have been asking for. And beyond that, everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes, please.
Right, wrong, good, bad, good, proper, nine, choice, poison, beyond, right? So how are we doing? And I have one more person here today who, Amit, hi, are you there? I don't
Hello.
see your video turned on.
Yeah, I'm very much there.
Hi,
Sorry.
would you like to tell us
Hello.
your experience of the foundation class? And you've done quite a few, right? And what is your favorite tool?
So first and foremost, I wish I was one of the toddlers in Renu's,
Oh,
the play group. It would have been so amazing to have an exposure to these tools as one was growing up. For me, I think just as a quick introduction, by qualification, I'm a chartered accountant. I've been in banking for the last 2 decades. It's been my passion over the years to explore various modalities. And, Access happened to be something I explored last year, sometime in July. And since then, I've been a kid in a candy store, practically done tons of workshops, and it's delicious. It's like a food that you eat. And since I'm a foodie, that's an analogy that comes.
I love that. I've never had anybody
It's
say
like
Access was delicious. Thank you, Amit.
it's like those those chocolate ice creams with the best toppings, and every time you have it, you want to have more. So, uh, in terms of the tools, just for me, there's one tool wherein it's again in the form of a question. It's like, would an infinite being choose it? So, for example, there is a choice that I am pressed with. One of the ways I can approach that choice is to ask, would an infinite being choose that?
Awesome.
That's one of the 10 keys of freedom as well.
Yeah.
And for me, that's been really a revolution because there's no other modality. I've been doing various modalities to get insights, but access is something which somewhere connects you to the source in a way which is so metaphysical, and it's a quantum leap. You are an infinite being. Once that comes as a question, then everything else just somehow begins to melt or to simplify. So that's been my favorite tool.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yes.
And what did the foundation change for you? Did you see any changes after the classes that you chose? And you also chose a Being You class, right? Oh, no, sorry, ESB. You were at the ESB.
and
So what
few others.
changed?
Foundation was in a way, the discussions we have on the foundation course are something which is very difficult to articulate in words because
Yeah.
there are it's like an experience which for me the experience in foundation did. There's one particular pattern that I had which I was struggling for many decades and I couldn't get an answer to. Something with family and for me the conversation we had on the third day, I don't know how you would like to present it for this class, but around the walk-ins, etc. I don't know if that's a discussion
That's
we can have
fine.
now.
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Yeah, that was tremendous. And even the dimension around entities and
Yeah.
From that to now, it's something where I converse with entities on and off, and there's so much more ease in that area. Again, it seems a bit dry or theoretical if someone's not done a foundation, but it changed. Simply put, it put me in a different track. You're suddenly orbiting around at a particular pace around the sun, and then from that you find yourself to be the sun in a way, if that makes sense.
It does. It does.
That's
You
what
bring it
foundation did.
beautifully. Okay, can I ask you a question if that's okay? Can I what do you have a beautiful capacity expressing that you have and this is not only for Amit, by the way, you guys can use this question too. But the way you're expressing it, I think it is just sinking in so beautifully. But what would it take for you to acknowledge that you have a capacity of expressing things in a way that goes so deep into people's beings? But so many times we refuse to see that we have this gift because someone else didn't receive it. So my question to you, Amit, is what is so great about you and the way you express yourself that you haven't acknowledged as the greatness and gift you be, that if you did, would change all of those areas in your life that you're asking to change with total ease? And see the lightness that comes in your being when so I was recording some clearings for myself today, and I was doing the hiding the part where these were Dane's clearings. So I was like, okay, what are you hiding with the wealth you're choosing? And then it was like, what are you hiding with the poverty you're choosing? And here I am recording these, and I went, what are you hiding with the poverty you're choosing? And I started giggling. I was like, I've already recorded about 100 clearings, and suddenly I start giggling at what are you hiding with the poverty you're choosing, So it's that when and I realized that I hate poverty and I haven't acknowledged it. Like, I think I hate the fact that people choose poverty when there is so much abundance, but I had never acknowledged it. So when someone's asking you a question, or when you're running a clearing and your being suddenly lights up the way yours just did when you had that flicker of a smile on your face, there's something there for you to acknowledge and go, okay, cool. Yeah, that could be true, could it? I'll ask you again, what have you not acknowledged about the way you express and the way you be? That is the greatness of you, that if you did acknowledge it, would change everything that you're asking to change, and even more than that, beyond this reality would totally. Would you be willing to acknowledge the greatness that you be with the way you express stuff? And everywhere that you were invalidated or dishonored, guys, for how you be and how you express things, everywhere that people couldn't receive it, and so you now have to go into whether people get you or not, whether you're doing it the right way or not, whether it's making sense or not, rather than, hey, is this bringing peace to me? Am I having fun with this? Did I use the words that had to be used here? And did that change someone's world or not? Cool, I'm just going to be this anyway, because this is being me. You please destroy and uncreate everywhere you don't allow yourself that space. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, line, shows, boys and beyond. And why I said that was because with whatever you were saying, it was just seeping in so beautifully. But I wonder how many of us actually receive a compliment when it is given. So how many times have I told you, Amit, that you have a generosity of spirit that is beyond this reality? You have a way of being which is beyond this reality. But truth, have you received it when people have said that to you? Right? So I'm sorry, I'm just using you as the guinea pig here, though I truly mean what I say.
Got it.
But how many of us actually acknowledge that? And he is truly one of the very, very generous. I've met him a few times. And what I could see about him is something that I have seen in very few men, really. I mean it. It's not an exaggeration. It's not meant to flatter anyone. But it is something that goes beyond this reality. Your space of being you, your space of being generous, and yet you're using that as a wrongness to judge you. So how many of you are doing that, guys? So what is great about you that you haven't acknowledged, that if you did acknowledge it, would create this sense of peace and calm and kindness to you that you've been asking from others? Since when? You don't even know. And everything that is will you destroy and uncreate. Right, wrong, good, bad, for 9 shows, boys and beyond. So thank you, Amit, for that. And tell me how, any other tool that you'd like to share, the tool that you shared, Wooden Infinite being choose this is amazing. Anything else? Any other tool? And anything else that I stopped you from talking about? I'm sorry.
No, I think it's been very clearly covered. It's an interesting point of view. I would recommend this book, 10 Keys of Freedom. I think that's one book which presents the tool very beautifully. So there are 10 tools in there, which was so beautiful. Yeah. For me, every day it's been, with access tools, life does present something or the other way. You at times find yourself without an organic tool popping up, and therefore some of these conversations, like this conversation that we just had today, that someone spoke about the 10-second increment, and I'm like, I wish I'd used that with something that happened earlier today. Yeah. So I think it's great that you have. I think you're one of the most powerful person who's been doing so many calls. Every time one gets into that 30 minutes or 45 minutes call, you come out with so many things that you realize, oh, I wish I had used this, or can I apply that next time? So thank you for inviting me for this call. It's been a while since then, and now I realize I should do it. More of that, because one feels the tool, have the books, and when I have a few books on my table while I'm working, I sometimes just read it, but gets communicated when someone speaks about it has a very different texture to it, and I think this is what I've realized now. So perhaps another tool is to be more in conversation with people who are in access, who are doing these wonderful calls, and that's it.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking our time to share what work for you with Access. And thank you for saying all those wonderful things about me. I will truly receive that. Because there have been times, mostly lately, like I said, when I switched on the call today, I've been going into so much of wrongness of me for not creating enough in the last month or so, because there has been stuff at home. There has been stuff with family, with children, and simply because, also because we're short of a laptop now that both my children want to use a laptop, and I've been going into the wrongness of that. But yeah, whenever you go into the wrongness of you actually kind of cut off everything you've created. You cut off even receiving anyone saying anything nice about you, anything that where you've been a contribution. And I will not do that anymore. So I will thank you, receive what you said, Amit, with gratitude and grace. And I will invite all of you who are here today to actually start to look at what is great about you that you haven't acknowledged. What are you wronging yourself for? What are you judging yourself for? Is that really true? Or is that just someone's point of view? And then interesting point of view, have this point of view. So I do have a foundation class coming up from 21st to 24th online. Hopefully those are the dates as of now. And if you guys are interested, there are all of these resources also on YouTube, on SoundCloud. I've done a lot myself. There are all of these brilliant facilitators out there. Dane does this tour of consciousness. There are like a lot of people who are doing all of these brilliant tools, having conversations, more so now than ever before, because everything's on Zoom now. So please go check out whichever one's light for you. Okay, where do I go today? Who do I talk to today? Which one do I listen to today? And this is actually a very, very cool book that Amit just recommended. It's called The 10 Keys to Total Freedom, which is also, okay, so in the foundation, we also have these introductions to these amazing tools like the 10 Keys to Total Freedom, where we discuss the 10 keys. And if you want to go in depth, there's the book called The 10 Keys to Total Freedom, or there is the whole call series by Gary and Dane. So, you can choose and pick where you want to go. Once you've done a foundation class, the avenues open up so much. Well, all of these books you can buy without even having to do a foundation class. But once you do a foundation class, it opens up your possibilities to go and choose a choice of possibilities with Gary, Dane, Simone, or Brendan. I've just done like the COP class with Brendan finished yesterday, and oh my God, I can't tell you the space that this class created. And like Amit was saying, it's very difficult to put into words the experiences that you have in a class. And I'm not trying to sell you Access. I don't need to sell you Access. Access sells itself because it is so powerful, right? But this is an invitation for you to actually begin to acknowledge the greatness of you. And if the tools and Access is a way for you to get to the greatness of you, well, why not? That's my interesting point of view. And I invite you to this class. And if we have 5 more minutes, if there's anyone else who has any other questions here, would like to pipe in, or you want to be on another one of the calls that I'll be having on the foundation, probably another 10 days, 12 days, whenever, I don't know, whenever it likes to show up, please reach out to me with your favorite tool. I'd love to have you on. Anyone else have a question here for tonight? Yeah. Kanika says every foundation is so different with different facilitators. Absolutely. Hey, Kanika.
Shweta, is it going to be in Hindi? Yeah, hi. Hello. Hi, Shweta. Is it going to be in Hindi too?
I haven't really decided on that. It depends on what people are asking for. I've just announced the class on between 21st and 24th. If someone is particularly asking for Hindi, would you please ask them to reach out to me, and maybe we can see what can be done about it. Okay. Kanika, are you done? Is there another question?
Yeah, we'll do that. So, okay. No, you cannot hear me?
And you suddenly conked off in between. Now I can.
No, I'm saying there are people asking for Hindi.
Cool.
So that's why this question that will it be?
Would you reach out to me personally on that? Maybe create a class in Hindi.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yeah, because foundation manual is available in Hindi as well. And the last one that I did, was in Hindi, and it's amazing. So many times I have people who come and tell me that why would I want to choose a Hindi class? But I can tell you this, that this was the first one that I facilitated in Hindi, and I received so much from it too. It was like it blows up these different parts of your universe, which sometimes, like, every foundation is different. Each time you do a foundation one after the other, it clears off different layers, and you add another language to it. It's like Hindi is one of the languages that we've grown up with, right? So there are some things that just blew off in this foundation with Hindi that I hadn't seen in this way with the English foundations. Now, when I say this, there is no righting or wronging of languages or which language you choose or which language you don't choose. It's just that, hey, would this class be a contribution to me in this language? Yes, no, maybe. Because we did a fun, Sangeeta Kochar and I did a fun how to become money workbook in June, I think. Yeah, the whole month of how to become money. And we did it in English and Hindi. We had all tool sheets in English and Hindi. Every call had a tool sheet. Every call had facilitation in English and Hindi. And there were people on that call. There was one person who wanted it in Hindi, and the others wanted to receive it in both languages. And the feedback that we got for those calls was mind blowing. They were like, we didn't know we could change so much when we were receiving in both languages. So sometimes receiving a class in both languages or any other language is also a contribution, right? So what greatness with language and words do you have and can receive that you haven't been willing to ask for, that if you did ask for, would change and manifest as, no, actualize as, not manifest as. I don't know where that came from. As more of
Uh,
the greatness you truly be.
so I kind of finished like 3 foundations this lockdown,
Yay.
and I mean, I don't have words to really express that. Every foundation that I have done, every topic in the foundation is so different each time it's facilitated, the type of questions that come up, the type of awareness that it comes up, it's so different. So yeah, I mean, I'm just amazed at every time I do foundations.
Yeah,
So,
thank
yeah.
you for that. It's a beautiful class, guys. The tools of foundation, doesn't matter who you choose it with, but if you do choose it, it will blow your world away in ways that I can't express. Like Amit said, it can't be put into words, and I agree with him on that.
And
So
when
thank
you ask us to tell us like which is your favorite topic or which is the topic that most interests you in the foundation, really I'm like so speechless in that, because I'm like every topic is so new every time you do
So
it.
what
It's
if we
like,
could have these conversations with a new tool every time? Like, what if that could be a contribution to everyone else? Because see, each topic that we spoke about, it's not about being your favorite or the only one you're using. Because if someone asks me, I wouldn't be able to tell you my favorite. There are so many. I agree with you. But
no,
with
but I do have like something like 5
you,
elements of intimacy is like my favorite.
which one?
But yet 5 elements of intimacy,
Yeah,
it's like my favorite. But yet there are so many other favorites too.
absolutely. So what if there was a new favorite tool every 10 seconds? And you didn't have to buy the favorite of this reality, which means if I choose a favorite, I can't let it go. Hey, 10 seconds later, it could be a new favorite tool. And 10 seconds later, it could be a new favorite tool. Like, I have so many favorites, right? You don't have to be married to a tool, right? So everything that brings up, give me destroy and create all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, poker, line, shots, boys, and everything that the word marriage brings up. Like, I right now have a point of view about it. Give me destroy, create it.
I have a point of view too.
I know. Like, really, whatever you think you're married to, like anything that you can't change, are you married to it? Like, really? Because what you're married to is something that you can't change. And that's my interesting point of view in this 10 seconds. And everything that comes up with that, will you destroy on right, on good, bad, pot, poker, line, shows, boys, and beyonds. Yeah. So, thank you for that, Kanika. But that, right, like you can keep changing your favorites. Like right now, I like strawberry ice cream, and now I like custard apple, and now I like chocolate, and now I want the fudge. Now I want maybe cookies and cream. Oh, like all my favorites, right? So everything that does not allow you to have multiples of favorites so that you can have amazingness in your life and fun and pleasure in your life, will you destroy and create all. Right, wrong, good, bad, put, poker, line, shows, boys, and mirrors. I'm just going to now read the Ranjali's comment here. and then we can call it a call. I acknowledge that I have created becoming a BF, a Bowers facilitator of myself, done my foundation also, yay! And also Business Done Different, is that BDD? Yeah. And the rest of the small classes and so many book clubs, which seemed impossible 6 months back, even being diagnosed with a third time for cancer about a month back, but there is no looking back. Yay, that is so cool. That is so awesome. And another great tool about something that's repetitively happening in your life, like if you're creating a disease in your body again and again, what if you ask, hey, what do I love about creating this? Because if it's happening over and over again in your life, there's this question that Access offers: what do I love about creating it the way it is? Everything in your life you create, even the parts of your life that are not happy for you, even the parts of your life that are not comfortable for you. So if now the great thing about it is, the greatness of it is that if you acknowledge that you created it, then guess who can change it? It's not like
Me.
something happened to you.
Me.
You, yes.
Yeah.
Right? So
And I am changing it. I am changing it.
oh, you
I
look
am-
so much better. I saw you some time back. You look amazing. You look so different.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're looking gorgeous.
Because I just had my second cancer treatment over in the month of February. And during this lockdown, I've created another cancer, and the tumors are in 3 places now.
Yeah, but look at the way you're talking about it. There seems to be no worry or doubt or
No,
resentment.
I don't have any worry about it.
And what if that's the greatest thing about you that can change it with ease?
Yeah, it will go the way it has come.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Are you taking away cancer from people's bodies? Truth?
Seems like it, yes.
Yeah, and you're laughing. You said seems like it. So is it a yes, or does it just seem like it?
Yes.
Right. So what do you love about taking stuff away from people's bodies? Taking cancer away from people's bodies, taking resentment away from people's bodies, and everywhere that you made an oath or a vow, a swearing, communality, fidelity, binding a bonding contract about taking it away from other people's bodies, even if it's not a contribution for you, will you please revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, announce, on destroy, and get all?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, protocol, and ensure the boys and beyonds. So, well, you can talk to your body, and that's another tool that we talk about in the foundation class as well. You know that. So,
Yes.
there's awesome book also, which is called The Right Body for You, which has been written by Gary Douglas. And there's a
Yes.
class in Access also, which is called Right Body for You. You begin
Yeah.
to actually just talk to your body and say, hey, body, what do we love about creating this? And can we change it?
Yes.
What would change? So please don't do that stuff to your body. It's abusing your body. But if it likes to do it, well, you can negotiate with it. You can say, okay, body, let's stop doing this way. It doesn't work well for me. Can we do it any other way? Do you have to take it into your body to change people's cancers? Or can you do it by being you, more of you, and not taking it in your body?
Right.
So how many of you are taking shitty stuff from people's bodies, diseases from people's bodies, insanities from people's bodies into your body, thinking that if you took it into your body, you could lock it up into your body so that it never went back to them, and that way you could heal them, and so you could prove what a great healer you are, and everything that is will you destroy of you. Right,
Yes.
with by protocol, nine shows, boys and beyond. So what if there was nothing to prove? What if it was just about you enjoying your body the way it is, and everywhere that you're not enjoying the greatness of your body, whichever way it looks like just now? Like, how many of you judge your body? What if you could acknowledge that your body is great the way it is,
Yes.
and it has these special superpowers that if you started communicating with it, you could let go of all disease in your body, because that's also your creation,
Yes.
right? So thank you
Yes.
for sharing that. That was such a personal
Thank you
space.
so much, Shweta. Thank you for the lovely
Thank you,
clearing.
Ranjit. Thank you. And thank you everyone once again for being here, especially.
I ordered a few books and I just got them today. I got one of this.
Whoa, that's an awesome one.
Then Living Beyond Distraction.
Oh, that's an
Yay!
amazing one.
Though I've done these, I've done the book clubs, but I like them so much.
Oh my God, those are my favorite books.
And 2 more are coming. One is The Right Body for You, and one other one. Embodiment, another one.
Both
I
are
ordered 5 books and 3 have come and 2 are yet to come.
my God. And what have you already created with just by ordering those books? And do read them, please. Like,
Yes, of course.
read them, guys. And they are amazing books. They are like at such a, I mean, when I was buying books, like every time I would go to an access class, I would pick up a book. I would just pick up a book, the one that just pulled me. And every time there was a new book, I
Yeah.
just pick up all the books by Gary and Dane. And
And
every time I would go to a class, I would pick it up. And that point of time, it seemed to be expensive. And I was like, okay, fine. Will this book make me money? Because that was a new tool I'd learned. So I said, okay, book, make me money. Okay. And I can't tell you how these books have created so much beyond only money for me.
yeah,
The money too, yes. And so much more beyond that, because each of these books, for the price it comes, has so many gems. Like The Blessed Possibilities is
Amazing.
an extract and a transcript of one of the 7-day events
yeah.
that's held in New Zealand, I think. And
I just read the back cover and I said I have to get it. I didn't know much about it, but I just read the.
oh my God, I can't tell you the gems that these books have. They have so many of these advanced processes that Gary and Dane run. And there is so much of generosity of spirit where Gary and Dane operate from, that I've seen and learning from. That generosity of spirit is also a space where you begin to create so much more wealth in your life.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Shweta, one thing I have to acknowledge that Kanika knows, I've been with her throughout since the beginning, that I was in a very, that state where my financial, this thing was a big question mark. How do I do it?
Yeah.
But within the 6 months, I've created everything. Like, I don't know from where it came, but I chose the classes and it came.
amazing.
Awesome.
It came because you chose for you. And that is the greatness of embodiment, where you begin to choose for you. Now, how many of you have not chosen for you all your life?
Yeah.
That is called, there's this term that Access uses for it, which is called self-debting, where
Yeah.
you put yourself at the end of everything, where you make yourself last.
Yeah.
Now, when you begin to just choose for you, like even just, good, I'm just going to choose for myself because this makes sense to me. That is you being kind to you, you valuing yourself,
Yeah.
you honoring yourself. And just by being that space starts to shift everything in your universe. So how many of you are willing to be the honoring of you that you truly be, that will actualize as the greatness of wealth and abundance and everything else you're asking for, and beyond that we totally, and everything that doesn't allow that, to strong, right, wrong, good, bad, purple, and choose boys and beyond. So choose guys, choose for you everything you haven't allowed yourself to choose till now. What if the world ends tomorrow? What if Corona kills everyone? What are you going to do with all the money that you have? Like, use it for yourself. Everywhere you're going to the point of view that you have to save for someone, the strong, right, right, wrong, good, bad, purple, and choose boys and girls. Okay. And I also have, by the way, I forgot, I have this, I just did an Elements of Wealth audio club. There's something new I've started where a lot of people can be on a WhatsApp group, and I record these like 15-20 minute audios. Most of them have been like 16 to 20 minutes audios every day, and I put out these text tools, and I'm starting another one tomorrow.
Awesome.
Which is called Blistering Success. And I don't know where we're going to go with that. So if you want to join in, today's the day that it's at like $1,000 or something. If you want to choose it, go ahead.
Elements of success, Elements of Wealth is amazing. Every tool, every
Okay,
clearing,
so
really amazing.
Renuji, I second you. This is my second time I'm doing it with her, but I didn't end up listening to all the audios. I'm like, I didn't end up listening to all of
I
them.
listen to them
But
late in the
guys,
evening,
if you
sometimes
guys are
When is
together.
the class, Shweta? When is the
Oh,
class?
there was
It's
so
an
many
audio
things
group.
going
It's an
on.
audio group starting
Okay.
tomorrow. It's starting
Okay.
tomorrow. It's at 1,050 if you sign up today. And I can put the
Alright.
link in here if you want. I don't know if I can. It's today I'm using a different computer.
But Shweta, this time include a phone call. I mean, like a Zoom call this time, because there's so many things that comes up now that needs
Maybe
to be
we can
cleared,
do
like
a Zoom
through
call
a
after that.
conversation.
Maybe we
So,
can do a Zoom call right after that. Right after that, I'll announce a separate Zoom call if you guys like.
yeah,
Not
I
if
mean,
you don't
after the
want a
whole
Zoom
thing
call.
gets over.
So if you want to do a Zoom call, I can announce it. And yeah, if there are enough of you choosing it, let's do it. I'll be more than happy to do it, guys. Just let me know what you're asking for. It'll be so
I would like to sign up for the class if I get the link.
Please, can someone post the link here? I don't know. I'll send it.
Yeah,
Ranjali, you
will.
should. I mean, at this class,
I
I've done it
will.
like twice. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
Kanika. I'll do
It's
it. I'll
really good.
choose it. I'll choose it.
Same
Awesome.
here. Same here. I did back in October and now, and it's amazing.
How did
And
you
the
Shweta,
best
I'm on
part,
day 5. I'm still on day 5.
Okay, there's another thing. I should have wound up like 15 minutes ago, but well, I just enjoy talking to you guys. So I'm like, and I'm totally inspired by Dane because when he says 15 Dane minutes, it's like goes on for an hour. So I'm like, okay, what? How can I be more like him? Right? So there is, interestingly, I was in the same space, Kanika, that you're talking about. So I chose the COP with Brendan, which finished yesterday, and I still have to listen to 1.5 days because I couldn't attend the class the last day and a half. I couldn't attend it. So I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. Then I have to listen to all the BDSW audios. Then I have to listen to another this and another that. And today I was just looking at all the different clearings that are on the BDSW group and how you're ready for each one when it comes to you. And what I was doing was, because I had the point of view that I haven't listened to enough, or there's so much to listen to that I haven't done, but I chose them. And I chose an advanced talk to the entities. I haven't listened to the repeat of that. I chosen the commitment class. I haven't listened to that. So I was like, I chose the future class. I haven't listened to that. And I was like, hey, am I stopping myself because I have this point of view that I haven't listened to? What if I listen to all of that when I listen to it, yet don't stop myself from growing and expanding and receiving from everything else that can contribute to me? Because a lot of times we do that. When we ask for stuff and a lot of that shows up and you're like overwhelmed, you go into, oh my God, I should have done that. And that's also going to the wrongness view. I should have listened to it. I didn't listen to it at the right time. I'm still on day 5. Now how am I going to listen to it? Oh my God, there's so much. Now what are you doing with that? It's not only about you choosing other calls and stuff. I'm not asking you to do that, but how much are you limiting your life when you're going to a point of view of, hey, I haven't done what I was supposed to do. So everything that you think you were supposed to do that you didn't do, that is creating the wrongness of you, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes.
Good, bad, what, online shows, version. Everywhere you're going into, I was supposed to, is a way of judging yourself. So everywhere you were entrained, this is what I was getting to. Like right from the beginning of the call, that everything that you think you were supposed to do, like anywhere in your life, was something that was implanted in you or you bought into as the wrongness of you, which keeps you from being the greatness of you and expanding your life. So if you are asking for change and this is the way that change could show up in your life, know that if you're going to overwhelm and what you were supposed to do, you're stopping that expansion. Okay, don't do that. Right? Keep asking and receiving, and whichever way it shows up. Then I was like, okay, cool, because even the third day, the COP, I couldn't listen to it, and I was just getting so irritated. I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't have done it with all these online classes. I'm not going to choose the next one that I've chosen. I've chosen 2 more in the next 2 months, and I was like, I'm not going to do that because I can't listen to it. And then I went into, hey, what am I doing? If these are the classes that are going to contribute to me and expand my life and create more money and wealth in my life and more joy in my life, then I'm just stopping myself, am I not? What if I didn't have a point of view about it? What if it was a contribution, I'll choose it. If it's not going to create a greater life, I won't choose it. Simple as that. Right? Does that make sense?
With me, what happens is that when I choose to listen to something, it's just right for me at that moment.
Yeah.
So I could have it in my phone or my audio for months, but the moment, and I just go with what my body wants to listen to. So if I've got time, I'll just ask, okay, what would you like to hear right now?
Yeah. Thank you. So and
I posted both the links.
Thank you, Renu. Renu has put up the link for the audio workshop that we start tomorrow. It's a 10-day workshop called Blistering Success, which means that are you willing to be the success that leaves blisters in everybody's bodies, lives, whatever.
Shweta, I've already paid. I've paid up.
Yay! See ya!
How does it get better?
So, Shweta, thank you for clearing that, because I also go into a lot of wrongness when I have a lot of backload of classes that I don't have time to listen, or either ways, I'm like, I have signed up for so many, yet I do not have the time to listen. And I'm like, going to the wrong list. Like I've paid so much and yet I'm not able to listen. So thank you for the conversation that you just did.
Because my daughter asked me that, Kanika. She said, you will get the replays, right? I said, yes, I'm going to get the video replays as well. So she said, are you going to the wrongness of it because you paid so much for it? I said, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
true.
You can listen to it
Yeah,
again.
I have so much. I have so much lying in the backstock which I haven't finished.
Everything that you have a point of view about having to finish, everything that is, which stops continued receiving, which you're just trying to get out.
No, it doesn't stop me, and I don't have that thing also. It just the topic came up, so I said.
You don't, but a lot of us do.
I don't have the guilt. I don't have that guilt.
Absolutely, that's what I said. You just brought it up, but I was clearing the guilt for everyone else.
Yeah.
With me, the
And
thing is,
Shweta, I choose the next class that I'm going to do is the COP, which I'm choosing right now.
How does it get
Awesome.
better? There's one coming up with Simone next month, I think. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Guys, my computer battery is going to go. So I will have to say bye now.
Yes.
I promise
I
I'll be
so.
back with another round of foundation tools and the tools that change stuff for you. I think I like the sound of how this call went, but you never know. Sometimes you have a point of view that I'm going to do another one and it doesn't show up. So,
Yeah.
so we'll see how we go and where. And if any of you want to be on the next call that have done a foundation class and would like to share your favorite tools, do reach out to me. And if you want to choose the foundation class that's coming up with me, you can reach out to Simi or you can
I've shared that link as well.
Call
and,
me
I love you.
anybody, guys.
Uh,
Sorry?
Thank you, Shweta. Thank you so much.
Simi,
Thank
saying
you.
something?
Yeah, I was saying that you can call me and Shweta, anybody.
Yes, Manisha's also there, Simi is there. So you can reach out to either of these people or call me directly, whatever works for you. And I hope to see you somewhere else again very soon.
And thank you, Shweta, when you said that, like, you realize that you have chosen that, and it cleared something for me. I judged my body because I have put on 12 kgs weight because of thyroid and all. So I put on 12 kg, and I always judge my body that I'm still not fat, but still strong and big. So
You could change that today.
yeah. And when you said that you have chosen that, so I realized because I always wanted to be strong and solid.
Wow.
Girls, don't worry about these things, putting on weight and all that. Be thankful that you have a healthy body.
Yeah.
I know.
Good. Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm
Yes.
going to say bye, and I'm very grateful to you, Ranjali ji, for sharing that, and to each
Yeah.
one of you, Kanika, and Simi, Manisha, Renu, Amit, and everyone else who chose to be here today, guys. And by the way, I'm also doing this another call series that just popped up in my head. It's called camouflaging, and which is about one of the processes that I was sharing. What are you hiding with? So, what are you hiding with? The greatness you're not choosing is another process you can begin to use, because a lot of things that we tend to hide from the world and then we forget we've hidden, that does not allow us to show up as the greatness of us. And those are two calls that are coming up on the 19th and 21st. I will be putting this out on the Daily Business Veggies group tonight, and it's also going to be on my Showing Up group. So any of you have any questions on that, or if it seems light to you, reach out. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.